Hello, GenderqueerChat viewers. My name is Christina, and I am your Wednesday person for GenderqueerChat. And the topic this week is, what is your favorite thing about your gender identity? And I don't think there's a bonus question this week. So my answer to this topic is that, and it has to do basically with my sexuality and my gender, in that it's made me think a lot more about. Okay, so I've always been one that usually, for the most part, wants to help out, you know, outcast people in society. But it's made me think about that more because it's put me into a minority, right? Like I'm female physically, so I was part of that. But having to face being attracted to girls and having to face my gender identity, in that I'm not cisgender, you know, it's made me have to think more about these things, and have to think more about issues of people who are oppressed, whether it be in terms of gender or religion or sex or sexual orientation or race or what have you. Any of these things. Once you're in one of, once you're in a minority group, you think about this stuff a little bit more. So, it's it's a good thing. It's that I think is really the best thing that's happened to me in terms of my gender identity, is that it's kind of forced me to think about about issues that people have, in terms of oppression and so on and so forth. Because I'll be completely honest with you, I grew up Catholic, and I grew up thinking, oh, homosexuality's wrong, and things about transgender people. There wasn't really much information about it when I was growing up, anyways. But you view that kind of thing as like the other, and that's not good. So when you get into a situation where you're, part of that group, well, obviously you can't think of them as the other anymore, right? So it's the kind of thing like, basically, I'm not quite as much of an asshole as I once was. Um, for the most part, I think that's kind of what's happened to me, growing up and having this gender identity and thinking about these things, and I mean, I want to think about these things. It's not necessarily just I'm forced into it, but that was the catalyst to to get more into these things. Because really, when I was younger, before I had discovered my sexual orientation and being attracted to women, I was big into, like, I wanted to save the environment, which is good too. That's fantastic too. But I was very, and I still kind of am, a little bit antisocial, kind of, in terms of just, I don't know. I'm not socially really, doesn't work. Social skills are not my forte. So, I think I was very unaware of the issues that other people have, as opposed to just my own. I was very, like, well, not very, but somewhat antisocial in that regard, because I was very unaware of the issues surrounding me. So, in being in the LGBT community, I personally have, thought more about these people's issues. I don't know what else to say. There's really not much else that I can say about this topic. But I think it's been a very good thing. It's been a very big eye opener for me, in terms of my sexual orientation and my gender, and thinking about these things, and realizing, that, I mean, trans people anybody in the LGBT community or anybody who is in a minority. You can relate to them. They're not just like the other person. And, they deserve respect and so on and so forth. So, anyway. So that's kind of basically what's happened to me in discovering my gender and my sexuality. Yeah, like I said, there's really not much else that I can talk about this topic for this week, unfortunately. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.